Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2022 State of the County event here at the Jim R. Miller Event Center. We hope you're having a great evening this evening. You're in for a good show tonight. If you could please have your seats. We would like to bring up the person who will give tonight's welcome. She was recently named Woman of the Year at the Live Safe Resources Tribute to Achievement Ceremony. Would you please welcome to the podium and give a warm welcome to your Cobb County Manager, Dr. Jackie McMorris.
Talk about getting in your place, lady. Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. Wow, this is like a family reunion out here. It's so good to see each of you. So thank you for being here tonight. Welcome to the 2022 State of the County. For those of you who are here in this facility for the first time, I say welcome and thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting our SPLOS program, because but for SPLOS, we wouldn't have such beautiful facilities. This is your facility for your use and your leisure. So again, thank you for being here in this building tonight. We have an exciting program for you. It is exciting to see all of us together. And so I want you to sit back and relax and enjoy the evening. I truly do believe that you're going to be informed, inspired, entertained, but more importantly, I hope you leave more proud of your county, the Board of Commissioners, our awesome employees, our leadership team, than you were when you got here. So it's going to be an awesome night, and we want you to sit back and have some fun. This commission and our Cobb County workforce family truly do love this county. They do every single thing with passion, with compassion, and with you in mind. Spring represents all things new, new growth, the gorgeous beauty around us, new opportunities, a fresh start, a reason to celebrate. It also means high pollen counts, sneezing, coughing, right? Scratchy throats. But the good book says, in all things give what? Give thanks. So even in all of that, we are here tonight to focus on the positive things. So we want to focus on what we've done in the past, all of the accomplishments with your help and your partnership. And then we want to give you just a little glimpse of what's to come, because there's some exciting times right here in Cobb County. So at this time, I would like to recognize some of our special guests, though to me, all of you are so very special. So I'm going to start by doing this with groups so that I don't forget anyone, hopefully, and so that we'll be out of here before midnight. So please stand as I call the group that you may represent. So I'm going to start with, if you are members of the clergy, would you please stand and let us recognize you? Members of the clergy, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Members of the military or any veterans in the house tonight. Woo! Thank you for your service. Do you have any elected officials, constitutional officers, and our school board members with us tonight? Thank you. You look beautiful. Thank you so much. I know we have some special guests from some of our neighboring counties. If you're visiting us tonight from a different county, let us welcome you and thank you for being here tonight. Anybody? Thank you. The Atlanta Regional Commission is here tonight. Where are you? All righty, thank you. Business and community partners. I think Cobb Travel and Tourism, the Chamber, other business partners. If you're here, stand and let us recognize you and thank you for all that you do here in Cobb County. I'm certain I saw someone from the nonprofit community and our civic organizations. Let us welcome you here tonight. Stand, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do, because there's so much that you do that we cannot do in government. So, but for you, those things would not get done. So thank you. And last but not least, I'd also like to thank my leadership team and all of the wonderful Cobb County employees. If you are here, stand up so I can give you an awesome shout out, because of you, you make me look good every single day. Thank you. Thank you. Woo! Thank you so much. Now I would like everyone else who did not stand to stand up and wave your hands like you just don't care. Woo! Because you are important too. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be right here tonight. And I thank you for that. We genuinely appreciate you being here tonight. So let's get started with our program. So at this time, I would like to ask all of our sponsors, if you're not on your way up here now, please make your way up to the podium so that we can recognize you and thank you for making this event such a special night for us. Ross Cavett, I turn it back over to you.
And we would like to thank our sponsors who helped make tonight's event happen. For some brief remarks, please welcome from Gas South, Kevin Greiner.
All right, I love Dr. McMorris's energy, right? Is that awesome or what? So Gas South is responsible for the food tonight from Southern Events. They do a great job. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If it tasted good, I'm sure it was done with natural gas. If it didn't, it was probably something else. But we are very pleased to be here. But in all seriousness, at Gas South, we do business all through Georgia, Florida, Carolinas, Texas, a lot of different places where we're active. But we are headquartered right here in Cobb County and have been since 2006, since we started our business. And I will tell you that this place is really special. I don't think there's anywhere where you have the bringing together of government, the business community, civic organizations, nonprofit groups. It is truly a special place. And part of what makes that so special is the wonderful government that we have and the wonderful leadership that we have. And Chairwoman Cupid certainly embodies that, as well as our Board of Commissioners who do a terrific job day in and day out. Our employees love living, working, and recreating here in Cobb County. We have more people from our company that live in Cobb County than anywhere else. And there's a reason for that, because this is a great place. It's a great quality of life. It's a great environment for raising a family, and it's a great place for doing business. So let's keep up the great work. I agree with Dr. McMorris. We have to celebrate the things that we do well and to have a real optimistic tone about the things that are happening, but of course also to always get better, to always work to be a better community and to continue to improve so that we can create more opportunities for more people in a equitable and just way, which I think Cobb County absolutely is on the track for doing as well. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be with you all tonight, and let's enjoy a great evening. Thank you.
Next up from Serm, please welcome Kimberly Steele.
Thank you, Dr. McMorris. Congratulations also on your award. My name is Kimberly Steele. I'm a Serm's Client Services Manager, and I bring you greetings on behalf of Corporate Environmental Risk Management, Serm. It is a full-range engineering, environmental, program management, and construction management firm that's headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. I also bring you greetings on behalf of our co-founder and president and CEO, Albert G. Edwards. Serm is proud to sponsor the State of the County address this evening. And Serm does do work in Cobb County. We are one of the consultants that work on the SPLOS program management program. So Serm, as long as the other consultants on the program, we take pride in delivering projects on time and doing it in a quality manner to enhance the quality of life of all us Cobb residents in the county. So at Serm, we not only believe in executing quality work, but also investing in the communities that we serve. So we are proud to support this event and look forward to hearing about the vision of Chairwoman Cupid and all the accomplishments that have been conducted this last year and all the great work that's ahead. Thank you.
Please welcome from the Council for Quality Growth, Michael Paris.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Michael Paris, and I'm President and CEO of the Council for Quality Growth. So we are a regional association representing the growth and development industry. What we do every day is serve as a bridge between the industry and our policymakers around the region at the local government level primarily. Think about this. We have 83 local governments around the region, or 84. It's a lot of local governments. And Cobb County is a great part of this region. Listen, I'm a native. I was born right up here in Keystone Hospital a very long time ago. They didn't even have air conditioning when I was born there. That's what's wrong with me, believe me, my mama says. But it's really, Cobb County is a very, very special place. But we love all of our counties. And I want to tell you something. The Council for Quality Growth is part of or sponsors of eight state of the counties around the region. And there's something we should all recognize. Today, we have Chairwoman Harrell from Henry County and Chairwoman Hendrickson from Gwinnett County. And every one of these that we are a part of, we are seeing other chairwomen or chairmen coming and supporting the state of the counties that for the others. And that's really important. And that's something we haven't seen in a long time. And that unity in the region is really, really important. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate you coming to Cobb County and being here. I also want to take a moment to recognize our friends at ARC. We have a new executive director at the Atlanta Regional Commission. We're very close to the ARC for a lot of reasons. Anna Roach, please stand up and please recognize Anna Roach. If you have not met Anna, take this occasion to do that. Welcome to ARC. And of course, the chairman of ARC is Carrie Armstrong, who's part of the Council for Quality Growth too. Proud to be here, looking forward to the messages today, and thank you all for being here.
And we'd like to welcome from Wellstar, Stephen Vaught.
Good evening. Okay, I saw y'all had some clergy and reverends in here. I grew up Pentecostal, so I'm gonna try it again. Good evening. I'm a call and response guy, but good evening. I'm Stephen Vaught. I'm Vice President of Strategic Community Development and Community Affairs for Wellstar Health System. And on behalf of our Board of Trustees and our President and CEO, Candace Saunders, as well as our over 25,000 team members, we just want to bring you greetings tonight. Very happy to be here and sponsoring this. Wellstar has been a part of the Cobb community for forever. Michael, we do have air conditioning in Keystone now, so glad to announce that. But we just really want to say thank you to this community. Cobb, you are home. We're headquartered here in Marietta, but we really want to say thank you for the last 2 years as the community has stood by us in this COVID-19 fight. The outpouring of love, support, resources from the community has just been overwhelming, and Wellstar definitely appreciates that and wants to acknowledge that. I'm pleased to announce that things are getting back to normal. In the hospitals, we're at green levels at all of our hospitals, so visitation is a thing again, and I know that makes people very happy. And so we're very, very excited to announce that. Wellstar continues to, over our 11 hospitals, over our over 16 urgent cares, our Wellstar Medical Group, and our myriad of physician offices, we are here to serve you. We say at Wellstar that we are more than healthcare, we're people care. And so part of that is supporting things like this. Very excited to hear about the state of the county, and thank you for letting Wellstar be a part of it.
We would also like to thank the following sponsors who were too shy to take the stage tonight: the Atkins Group, Atlanta Braves, the Collaborative Group, Croy Engineering, and our event partners tonight, Get It Poppin', Catered Southern, and Ricketts Roads Events. Dr. McMorris, back to you.
Ross, we have one more.
Hit it.
Thank you, Dr.
You are
McMorris.
welcome.
I'm Rakia Thomas with Atkins. I'm the Business Development and Strategy Lead for Georgia, and we're so excited to sponsor tonight and appreciative of the opportunity to be here to hear this state of the county. As a market-leading design, engineering, and project management consultancy, we've been serving the Atlanta region since 1973, and we are currently the program management lead for Cobb County and been doing that for a long-standing partnership and relationship that we've been enjoying and we hope to enjoy for years to come. And so I'll just close with saying our employees that work in DOT here at Cobb not only work here, but they live and play here. And our offices are just a stone throw from Truist Park. So we have enjoyed a long time relationship here in Cobb County, and we plan to continue to do so. So thank you for the opportunity. And I hope we have a wonderful night. I look forward to hearing from Cobb Commissioner, and I know she's going to have some exciting things to say. So thank you.
Thank you. Let's give all of our sponsors a rousing Cobb County. Thank you. Again, but for you, we would not be able to do many of the things in which we enjoy here in Cobb. Drum roll. Did I hear someone say drum roll? Let's do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're 1 week away from welcoming back the World Series champions, Atlanta Braves, to Truist Park. Make some noise for the Atlanta Braves heavy hitter. And now, can those in the audience please stand as the Cobb County Police Honor Guard presents the colors, and tonight's pledge is led by members of the Cobb Youth Commission.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And y'all may be seated. This is Jeopardy! With tonight's special guest host, recent KSU grad and runner-up in Jeopardy's National College Championship, and Cobb Library Worker Extraordinaire, Raymond Goslow.
Hello.
You're not famous at all, are you?
Maybe just a little bit.
So the most fascinating thing when you and I talked about being on Jeopardy, and again, you were the runner-up in the National College Championship, and you took home how much?
$100,000.
And you'll be giving that out immediately afterwards?
I work at the library. I got to hold on to this.
So true. The amazing thing to me is we saw the final last month, but tell the folks when you actually taped that tournament.
So this was all taped back in November before Thanksgiving. Didn't air till February.
So do you think you can keep a secret that long? How did you do that?
I still don't know. all I know is I'm putting like top secret security clearance abilities on my resume now.
All right, nice. And another thing that was fascinating to me is you said you went back and watched the episodes, and you ended up answering questions on the show that you didn't know the answer to. What is up with that?
That's right. I was just like sitting at like my watch party watching these episodes, and the clue comes up, and I'm like, I have no idea what that is. And I see myself buzz in on TV and give the correct response. And it's like, clearly I peaked at the right time.
Well, great. And you were representing KSU. You're now a grad. So what's next for you?
Planning on going to grad school and getting my master's degree in library science.
Nice. All right, we're going to play a little episode of Jeopardy, and I think we have some contestants somewhere. So if you've promised to be a contestant, get your, you know what, up here. Sloan. And we're going to be playing a little game that we call Questions That Raymond Missed. Questions that, listen, I know what you're thinking. That's awfully mean. But whose idea was it to play this game?
It was my idea.
So Raymond's not going to slap me, so you can all put your phones down right now. We're all in agreement here. Are you one of our contestants too? All right. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the clues that Raymond missed. He knows every one, apparently, that he missed. If you have the right answer, raise your hand. Those who get it will get a gift card. Let's go down. Let's go down the line. Who are you?
I'm Mark Morgan.
We know you, Mark.
Barry Krebs.
We know you, Barry.
Sloan Williams.
Who are you? No. Sloan.
Aaliyah.
Saeed Akram.
All right. So let's do this. Raymond, you ready?
Ready if I ever could be.
All right. The first category is going to be add drop. Add drop.
All right. And the way this category works is you need two separate words for the correct response. Drop a letter from the unlawful act of inciting a revolt against the government to get a special issue of a newspaper.
Anybody? Sloan, what do you got?
Sedition and addition.
Remember, it's Jeopardy. You have to answer in the...
What is sedition and addition?
That's right.
Yay!
Good job.
All right. And the next category is a semester abroad.
Sail from Tasman Bay and the South Island of this nation and swing around to the Bay of Plenty. What you got?
All right, Sloan.
New Zealand. What is New Zealand?
You're right. When I was on the show, I said Australia.
We got somebody's. I do have the answers on here. All right, our next category is half past.
And the way this category works is the answer comes just after the word half in the dictionary. So it gives you a little clue to the first couple letters. This group of electronegative elements forms salts.
Barry.
Saline? What is saline?
No.
And
Mark, what is sodium chloride?
No.
comes after half in the actual dictionary. All right, and the answer is, nobody
The
got it?
correct response is halogen. Halogen.
What did you say?
I said haline. So you were on the same track as me with the saline there. Halogen.
Our next category is the places you'll go.
You could visit the Rijksmuseum and watch Operation Night Watch as it studies one of this man's masterworks with a stereo microscope.
Exactly. Everybody's like, well, I have no idea. What is the answer?
The correct response is Rembrandt. I said Vincent van Gogh.
How could you? Everybody knows that.
I know, right?
All right, let's try one more. Also, the places you'll go.
Man, I didn't do too well in that category. You could follow in Dian Fossey's footsteps and head to Congo's Virunga National Park to study these mammals.
Gorillas.
What's the format for answering on Jeopardy?
What is the gorilla?
That's correct.
Yeah. And what did you say?
I said chimpanzees. I got that answer all monkeyed up.
All right, let's do one more because this is my favorite topic. Wither the weather.
Bet Ross is very upset he can't buzz in on this.
I would have
one.
gotten this one.
Big fluffy snowflakes result from relative humidity of over 100%. This condition of water in the atmosphere. No.
Raymond didn't get a hint. You don't get a hint. All right, what's the answer?
The correct response is what is supersaturation? I left off the super. I just said what is saturation.
All right. All right, well, that's it for the Jeopardy game. Congratulations to Sloan and Barry and our contestants here today and Raymond Goslow. And this gives me the opportunity to bring up our next speaker today, who's the brand new president of Raymond's alma mater. Would you please welcome to the stage Dr. Kathy Schweig.
Tonight and wonderful to be with Raymond again. We had a lot of fun on campus when Raymond's Jeopardy time aired a few weeks ago, and we were able to host a watch party for him that evening, and none of us knew the results. So it was a very, very exciting party and a very exciting event, and something that we actually talk a lot about at KSU right now that Raymond help us create that night was the idea of community. And community is so important to us. We're a large institution. We have 43,000 students. Some of them are here tonight. So we're a large institution. We have a lot going on. We're very complex. And so it's a priority for us as we think about making a place where our students can have a wonderful experience during their college years to create community. And we do that by focusing on what goes on campus. And when we can rally around someone like Raymond and the success that he had, it is so much fun and it's so exciting. But we also care tremendously about the context in which our university exists. And that's the Cobb County community. We're so grateful for the support that we receive as an institution, whether that's from the businesses, from the not-for-profits, from our Cobb County Commission, from our public servants throughout the community, from our public safety officials. We are so thankful for the support that we have, and we feel a part of that community. And so tonight I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for the opportunity to be the institution that is in Cobb County. But as we grow, we certainly are seeking a national reputation, an international reputation. But please know that Cobb County is always our home, and we are so proud of that. We have, I mentioned 43,000 students. 1/5 of those students come from Cobb County schools, and we want that to always be the case. So thank you. Hope you have a wonderful evening tonight. Thank you for letting us be here.
And now please welcome to the podium from the Atlanta Regional Commission, Mikenathan.
Good evening. Okay, that's all right. Let's try it again. So this is the now for something completely different portion of the evening. It's going to be a data presentation. That's right. Everything you wanted to know about Cobb County in 15 minutes or less. My name is Mikenathan. I'm the head of research and analytics with the Atlanta Regional Commission, and I'm here to just kind of provide some context, kind of provide some, some background knowledge for all the great things you're going to hear about Cobb County today. And I'm going to try to do it in 15 minutes or less. But I do have a favor to ask of you. As you've already announced, both of my bosses from the Atlanta Regional Commission are here today. So I need y'all to be super excited and nod your head a bunch, look interested, okay? Can we agree on that? Okay, yeah. So he's got it. All right. So, and really what this is to do is really kind of, it is a celebration of just how wildly successful Metro Atlanta and Cobb County have been. And really, we at the Atlanta Regional Commission, you can't talk about one without the other. And so I'm going to show you a lot of that today, but I will talk about some of the challenges that we need to face so we can stay wildly successful. So the next person who does this in, say, 20 years from now can be saying essentially the same story. Okay, so I'm going to get started. And remember that first rule that we just talked about. Y'all are very excited. The first thing we're going to do is actually play a little game. And so the way this works is I'm just going to ask a question that's right there on the screen. And I want somebody just to start yelling out the answer. Just yell out a city, yell out North Cobb, South Cobb, it doesn't matter. Okay? So y'all see the question. Which area added the most population in Cobb County? Which area added the most population since 2010? I don't have any prizes, so this is all for pride. All right, so I heard a bunch of different answers. And so here is it's very hard to see, but the darker areas of the county represent those areas that added the most population. And it's actually kind of the town center, Kennesaw area. Give yourself a round of applause, whoever said that. This area is now home to almost 7,000 people. So that little area that's circled up there. And that's been, an addition of about 4,300 people. So the bulk of the population has been added in the last 10 years. Okay, so now I think we got the feel of this game now. Now, same question, but we're going to go back to 1990. So which area in Cobb County added the most population since 1990? Okay, all right. I really can't hear anything that y'all are saying, so I'm just going to nod my head. Okay, same map, sort of looks like the same map, same rules. The darker the colors, the more population that was added. Oh my goodness, look at that. It was town center. So think about what this means, all right? This area has been the fastest growing area in the last 30 years. A lot of that has to do with the investments made by KSU, obviously. It also has a lot to do with the investments Cobb County made, the investments that the town center CID made into town center to make it a vibrant, walkable place. And so the moral of this story is that, hey, investments matter. Reinvesting, rethinking, reinvigorating our town centers across the region, and we have dozens and dozens of examples of it across the region, it matters. All right. Now we're going to switch gears just a little bit. And here we're going to talk about how the definition of we are changing. And so the question is, which area added the largest share of Asian population? So we're talking on a percentage basis, which had a greater percentage. And again, I'm just hearing. All right, here's the map. And again, the dark greens represent, the highest densification of Asian population. And you'll see that the East Cobb area just dominates it. You see pockets all over the place, but East Cobb dominates it. The actual area is this little area in Smyrna, Vinings, where about 23% of the population, so 1 in 4 of the residents, identify as Asian. And that's an increase of 15.7 percentage points. And this is just in 10 years. So from a demographic standpoint, that is big, fast, major change. And that is something that we're seeing all over this country, and that's really something we're seeing all over this region, is how the definition of us is really changing pretty rapidly. All right. Which area added the largest share of Black residents since 2010? Here's the map, and you'll see, again, pockets everywhere in Cobb County. A lot of it around in the South Cobb area, but it's actually Six Flags, the very southern tippy part of Cobb County, which now this area is about 50% Black residents, and that's an increase of 24 percentage points since 2010. Again, big, huge demographic changes in a short period of time. Which area added the largest share of Hispanic or Latino residents? Here's how it looks across Cobb County, and you'll see, again, mostly dominated in the southern parts. It's kind of this Mableton area. I think I heard Mableton, or it could have been something completely different. But you'll see that now is about 40% of the residents in this little area identifies as Hispanic or Latino, and that's an increase of about 14%. Again, big changes. All right, one more of these. Which area added the largest share of white residents since 2010? Now, I know you can't see the tiny little type up here, but this is actually important because the dark green areas, those are the only areas that actually saw an increase in share of white populations. And this is a national trend. It's a trend that has seen over the past 4 years, at least nationally, a straight up decline in white populations. Now here in Cobb, you have a couple of these areas that did actually see an increase in share, and it's actually the Battery. And so remember, this is another example of one of those investments that Cobb County's made. Okay, so y'all were mediocre in that. All right. So now we're going to take a big step back. We were focusing on little neighborhoods in Cobb, and now we're going to deal a little bit about some big picture trends, and that's going to affect the Atlanta region, and it's going to affect Cobb County. Now, here's sort of the punchline. Here's sort of the crib notes to this presentation. If you remember only a couple of things, remember these things. So population growth, I've talked a little bit about that. Population growth is slowing. There's 2 ways that population grows. It's, births over deaths. It's in-migration. Both of those elements of the equation have gotten more challenging for population growth. And so what that means is, if we're thinking about attracting talent and to take some of these new economy jobs, well, the talent pool is shrinking a little bit. And so that means we need to rely more on growing our talent natively, either through our education systems or our workforce development systems. Diversification. We just saw that in that little exercise on the maps. We have seen, and this just in 10 years, how much this has changed. But if you look at the Atlanta region, almost every bit of growth that we've gotten recently and every bit of growth we're going to get over the next 50 years are going to come from persons of color. And that's a trend that we've seen nationally, and we'll talk about that too. Housing is more expensive. I'm going to talk a lot about that. And then economic recovery. And this is something that, we can really sell Metro Atlanta on. And again, Cobb County is because if you look at how we've recovered from the pandemic, our job market recovery is one of the strongest in the nation. And that's certainly something to celebrate. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and show you all the charts that prove everything that I just said. This is the fertility trends. And so regardless of race or ethnicity, birth rates are below replacement levels. Okay, so you're looking at it, it's like, okay, well, what does that mean? Well, look at that blue bar that represents the fertility rate of white populations. It's been, well, my chart only goes to 1990. If you go back to 1970, the white population's fertility rates have been below replacement levels for 50 years. And so how does that play out today? Well, I'd mentioned earlier, for the past 4 years, we've seen a straight up decline in white populations in the nation. That's this playing out over the long term. And so look at some of the other fertility rates in the other races and ethnicities and, play that forward 40 or 50 years. And all of a sudden you have the situations ripe for significantly slower population growth. Now you couple that with the fact that in-migration into this country is also at its lowest rates in decades. And you've looked at the growth rate nationally, it's the lowest growth rate that we've seen in 120 years. So again, we're going to have to focus, we're going to have to be very smart in how we attract talent or how we grow that talent. All right, so that's the big picture. Let's look at this in a metropolitan Atlanta context. And I just said population growth, doom, 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 but actually Metro Atlanta is still one of the fastest growing places in the nation. Metro Atlanta, that's that red bar. We rank 4th nationally in total population growth over the past decade, behind Houston, Dallas, New York. That's right where we've been, relatively speaking, really for the past 4 decades. Somewhere in the top 5, somewhere behind some combination of those metros. Now, so relatively speaking, we're doing good. Now the numbers, which again you can't see because they're really, really tiny, shows you, well, now you definitely can't see them. We added 800,000 people this past decade. That compares to 1 million people that previous decade. That compares to 1.3 million people the decade before that. So relatively speaking, we're growing, right where we have been in the last 4 decades. But in raw numbers, the numbers are dwindling. Here's a quick little animation to show you how that growth is playing out locally. And what you're going to see is look how much Cobb County has filled out since 1990. Look how much the northern part of the region has filled out since 1990. And that's something that we at ARC think about constantly, is how can we better balance that growth north-south, because the implications of this growth pattern, which we've had this growth pattern for 50, 60 years, is, think about the commuting patterns that this creates. Where all the jobs and the people are going north of I-20, yet, we still have workers living south of I-20 who need to get to jobs. Okay. And also think about that pattern's implications on home prices. So here's what it looks like in Cobb County. Again, tiny little type. I know you can't see this, but you'll see that red bar towards the right of the slide. That's the number of homes that sold for $500,000 or more in Cobb County. And it dwarfs every other price point band there. And just some other numbers, median sales price in Cobb County, about $368,000. Months of supply is half a month. Now, in a normal market, it's 6 months. In Cobb County, half a month. So in other words, any new inventory being introduced, whether it's resale or new, is being burned through in 15 days. And then you'll see by school district, you're definitely paying a premium for housing if you want to live in one of these school districts. Now, let's see how that plays out neighborhood by neighborhood. I love maps, so here's some more maps to show you. You'll see the purples. This is 2013. You'll see the purples. Those represent home prices, around 500,000, 400,000. And then the yellows and the oranges represent, homes that you could get for around 200K, maybe the low twos, maybe the high ones. And that's in 2013. And actually, you see plenty of areas where you could get a home in the 200 range. Let's play this forward. Now, I haven't processed the data for 2021 yet. It would even be more purple, but look at what happened in 7 years. If you're a low income, a moderate income family looking to buy really anywhere in this region, you're going to struggle. You're also going to struggle to find that in Cobb County. Now, if you're priced out of the home ownership market, you're not finding much relief in the rental market either. So you'll see it in the Cumberland submarket, the Kennesaw submarket. Rents are going for about $1.60 a square foot. So 1,000 square foot units going for about $1,600. And so that's one of the headwinds. Yes, let's celebrate our successes, but let's make sure that we continue to be this vibrant community, this vibrant region, by addressing some of these potential headwinds. Now, super fast look at the economy, and then I'll get off the stage and stop throwing a bunch of data at you. We're back. So if you look at the Metro Atlanta's economy, we actually have more jobs today than we did at the beginning of the pandemic. And if you look at how we compare to other metros, well, we're one of 4 metros of this little peer group that have actually seen positive job growth since the pandemic. So that's a great selling point for Atlanta. Our job market, we're back. But if you want to just focus on all the good news, just look away from this slide, because inflation is a challenge. And it's actually, it's us and Phoenix, we're sort of the leaders in the nation in inflation, which means that, even though we have seen good wage growth, inflation is sort of eroding that wage growth. Now, this is the last slide I have, and so I want to just conclude by saying, again, we should be celebrating how wildly successful we are as a region and as a county. But let's not gloss over the fact that we do have some work cut out for us to make sure that the next person who gives this presentation 20 years from now can still tell a positive story. And so that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And for those in the audience, there will be a quiz on this coming up later on. Now, welcome to the stage from the Cobb Chamber, President and CEO, Sharon Mason.
Evening, man, I got to follow that. I don't have all these cool charts. That was great. It's great to be with you all this evening and get to celebrate with Chairwoman Cupid. And I have the honor of introducing Chairwoman Cupid this evening. And I've also had the honor of working with her the last 10 years. Can you believe it? Since she first became commissioner of District 4. And we worked together on many initiatives and seen so many great successes under her leadership. Including her focus, her passion, and her love for the people that is evident in everything that she does, and really taking the time for community engagement, for input, and trying to do the right thing each step of the way. And seeing when she was commissioner, many great things happening, like the creation of Cobb's first Zoning 101, so many other engagement initiatives, great engagement with our chamber for workforce, economic development initiatives, and so much more. And also transit expansion, bringing developers, residents together to negotiate land use cases, and so many great things happening. And then recently in the pandemic, when small businesses especially were so negatively impacted, really appreciated her and the Board of Commissioners leadership to partner with Cobb Chamber and select Cobb to distribute $50 million in small business grants to over 3,700 companies that made such a tremendous difference. And a lot of companies that it was just the difference that they needed to make it through that time. And also seeing so many great initiatives every step of the way throughout the pandemic, every stage that we've had throughout this pandemic, working with great healthcare systems like WellStar and so many others. And also now with pandemic-related workforce challenges, with so many other things happening, seeing a great focus and partnership there with so many great people like Sonia Grant, who I see in the audience. A big focus on nonprofits, on rental assistance. I see Kim Gresh, who I know is key with Cobb Community Foundation, and so many other initiatives that have been absolutely key for our community. And really appreciate her collaboration. We meet on an ongoing basis with Cobb Travel and Tourism and Cobb Chamber, Select Cobb, many business leaders like Kevin Greiner and so many others to collaborate on so many different issues. And I'm very proud to say that even coming out of the pandemic, we're seeing a tremendous growth in our community. We're seeing so many companies continuing to expand and continuing to relocate in Cobb, and working with great people like Stephen Vaught and Dana Johnson, who's with me tonight, our Select Cobb Executive Director and Cobb Chamber COO. And we had a record year last year and seeing companies expand, which is incredible. And that means they are seeing that support from Cobb County. They are seeing what Michael mentioned earlier, how special this community is and how we all come together to make it happen. They're seeing that supportive environment. They're seeing a great place for them to grow. And we're seeing this across every industry, across every geographic area. And so proud for that to continue to happen and for us to continue to partner. And also excited that Chairwoman Cupid is going to be joining us for our June 13th Cobb Chamber Marquee Monday as she continues her State of the County tour, and looking forward to that. That's actually the same day where we give our Woman of Distinction Award, which she won last year at the same June Marquee Monday. And also, a couple of things about Lisa that I do want to mention. Georgia Tech grad, which I know we're very proud of, as well as Masters in Georgia State. So many organizations, so many awards that she's received that I know really exemplify her commitment for this community and commitment and dedication for each one of our citizens. But most importantly, love seeing her supportive family, for Craig and her two sweet boys, and what amazing wife and mother she is as well, in addition to carrying this role for our entire community. So excited to see her all in for Cobb County. I didn't realize I was wearing the theme tonight. I'm so excited. I got the green memo, but she really is all in for each one of you. And I think we've got a very special video to show. And Chairwoman Cupid, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your leadership and continued collaboration with Cobb Chamber and so many organizations here tonight. So with that, I think we're turning to the video.
Hi, my name is Keelan Mitchell. My wife Erica and I are the owners of Muya Burgers, Fries, and Shakes in Mapleton, Georgia. We invested here because we're all in for Cobb.
Hi, my name is Missy Owen, and I'm the co-founder of the Davis Interaction Foundation. My husband and I raised 5 children here in Cobb County, and it's the greatest place to raise children. Now we fight addiction and fuel recovery at the Zone, where we are all in for Cobb County.
I love living in a vibrant community just like this because of the innovative, magical programming that we're able to put on in the arts. That's why I'm all in for Cobb County.
Hi, I'm Carla Jackson, and Cobb County has been my home for over 35 years because it is a beautiful community and has been a great place to raise a family. As your tax commissioner, it's my privilege to serve all of our citizens with integrity and professionalism. And that's why I am all in for Cobb.
As the Cobb Collaborative addresses critical issues in our community, inclusiveness must be and is at the heart of all that we do. We convene stakeholders to improve outcomes for all children and all families. And that's why we're all in for Cobb.
My name is Carlos Garcia, and I am the Latino liaison for the Cobb County Sheriff's Office. And I've been a proud resident of Cobb County for over 22 years. And I love to see the change of inclusion and to live in a county that respects the dignity and all residents in this county. That's why todos somos Cobb.
I'm Tiffany Cowley Bailey, the CEO of Girls Inc. of Greater Atlanta, where Girls Inc. has had a long history in Cobb County community. We've been serving here for over 46 years through our mission of inspiring all girls to be strong, smart, and bold. And we're all in for Cobb.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Cobb County Board of Commissioners Chairwoman Lisa Cupid.
Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor to be here today, and I find it a privilege to follow the many leaders that we had here talk to you about their experience in Cobb County, because it truly is a collective effort to serve and carry this county forward. And, Mike, when you were speaking, I thought I could just sit down. You gave my whole speech and talking about all of the opportunities, but also some of the challenges that we have here in our county. And I wanted to give all of you a sneak peek of the things that keep me up at night and that keep so many of us up in thinking about how we can deliver excellent services to everyone here, but also being honest about some of the challenges that it takes to serve everyone here. And so what I'm hoping to accomplish at the end of this evening is greater understanding of what Cobb County is, but also a confidence in what Cobb County can be when all are in Cobb. So a little bit about all in. When I started as chair, I shared my desire that all would be considered to be part of the fabric of Cobb County's success, regardless of where you live, regardless of geography or demography. And I shared 5 platforms for us getting there. 1, for us to lead with integrity. 2, for us to be inclusive. 3, to make intelligent decisions. 4, to be innovative. And 5, to invest in our county. And that includes our people, our infrastructure, and our future. Integrity. Leading with integrity is not an assertion of perfection. It is acknowledgement and honesty about where we are and doing what it takes to get to where we desire to be. And we desire to be a county that delivers excellence effectively and efficiently to all of our citizens and stakeholders. And we've seen that our population has grown tremendously and it's also become more diverse. But I tell you that our diversity is not just demographically or geographically, it's economically. We are one of the state of Georgia's most affluent counties. Yet 70,000 of our residents live in poverty. 110,000 of Cobb County's 700,000 residents under the age of 65 don't have health insurance. And so when we speak about our affluence, we need to be able to also acknowledge that there's some people who are truly struggling among us each and every day. We also have our work cut out for us as we are a suburban county. We are an affluent suburban county, but we have areas that are rural, we have areas that are urban. And so how can we maintain our strength as an affluent suburban community without leaving not only any person behind, but any community behind? Is also work that's before our Board of Commissioners every day. And trust me, I share with you, Commissioners were just as shocked as the public was when the MDJ ran the numbers that would take us to get to where we want to be after having a series of meetings with our staff that said, we want to be the best county, but we just don't have the resources to get there. And it was to the tune of almost 700 new employees that they asked to add and over $100 million worth of programs. Now, I can tell you that being honest and being leaders of integrity, we do need to take those numbers into account. But I can tell you that in our integrity, if we are having open and honest dialogue with our staff, if we are looking at data and talking about service levels, we can have these conversations to reconcile that with the level of service that we know you reasonably expect. And we should not be surprising you in the future. And so this is hard work that the board has been going through, but it's a necessary work to get to where we want to be. While I talked about our economics and our population and geography diversifying, something else is also diversifying that we cannot bury our heads in the sands about, and that's our politics. And it has become very clear to me that the increased sensitivity to this board making similar decisions as boards in the past and historic redistricting and cityhood efforts are signs of these shifts. And they have been overwhelming to consider at times. But I can share with you that I would not be up here before you unless I saw a silver lining in the challenges before our county. And I think these discussions are allowing us to see the services that our citizens have desired that have gone unspoken. It's allowing our staff and our leaders to educate citizens on the stellar services we provide every day. And it's allowing us to clear up a lot of misinformation to best educate our citizens about who we are as a county. And I just want to be very clear. Cobb County government, we have always been faithful in working with all of our cities. And whatever the citizens decide at the ballot box in May or November, we will continue to be a faithful partner to all of our cities. We have been and we will always be one Cobb County. Okay, I was supposed to clap. I'm gonna clap because y'all. We're one Cobb. That gets me to the next point of inclusiveness. Serving with mindfulness of all of Cobb County's residents is imperative if we want to be the best county. We don't get to be the best county leaving half of our county behind. And being the best is not a zero-sum game. We actually get there when we take everyone with us. And each commissioner has demonstrated inclusiveness, whether it is through Commissioner Gambro's community events, Commissioner Richardson's town home or meetings that she's had on stormwater and on providing updates, Commissioner Burrell's advocacy for businesses and veterans, and Commissioner Sheffield's monthly community zoning meetings. As chair, I've been supporting our commissioners to also have investment from DC when it comes to transportation. In years past, we typically put forward 1 or 2 projects in the county, and I've asked this year for us to put forward projects in each and every district. And lo and behold, we got more than we typically have gotten in the past. With support from Senators Ossoff and Warnock, we received support for the Chattahoochee Riverlands project in Mableton. Congressman Scott supported the Cumberland Multimodal Path. And Congressman Loudermilk supported the Big Shanty Widening Project. We have also received support from Washington with the infusion of American Rescue Plan dollars, which will bring a whopping $147 million to our county. but we did not bring those dollars in just thinking about our board and the interest of leaders. We engaged all of our citizens, hearing from almost 3,000 of you, telling us how you want us to prioritize that spending. And we could not have done that without our partner in Deloitte. Inclusiveness also considers racial equity, which is an important topic and sometimes a difficult topic to discuss. And I'm very fortunate that we were able to partner with United Way and Gas South to have a 21-day racial equity challenge for our county that had the support of 300 residents here. We were fortunate to also receive ongoing investment from United Way to partner with consultant Chrysalis Lab to take our discussions into action with more efforts in equity. Also, Georgia State's Andrew Young Policy School will be looking at our equity considerations when it comes to procurement with our purchasing director, Roger Ball. And I want to thank our African American business leaders for coming to the table to ensure that we are not just talking about these things, but we are putting these things into action. And Mr. Enrico Washington, if you're here, I want to thank you for your leadership in that effort. During the pandemic, we also saw issues as it pertains to race when it comes to social justice. And I'm very pleased that our Superior Court Chief Judge, Robert Leonard, provided implicit bias training for all of our judges. Our very own fire chief, under the leadership of Bill Johnson, is improving diversity with launch of an innovative tool with its Chief of Staff, Michael Cunningham, to increase the diversity of recruits. And our very own Cobb Chamber has been embarking on this path pre-pandemic with this Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Council, which we've seen has already helped to diversify chamber membership, its leadership on its board, its staff levels, and its marketing in our community. But inclusion doesn't just come by way of diversity. It comes by including people in collaborative efforts. And that was seen with certainly efforts during the pandemic with the food fleet that was led by our community foundation in providing 37 million meals across Cobb County in partnership with several agencies which may be here today. Inclusion was also seen during the pandemic in partnership with Chief Magistrate Judge Brendan Murphy, the Atlanta Legal Aid, 5 of our nonprofits, the CFR, Must Ministries, Sweetwater Mission, including Home Free, and Star C, to keep almost 3,000 families in their homes with $30 million of rental assistance funds. We did this together. We cannot do this alone. And I thank you for your continued partnership that is occurring with so many collaborative efforts by people in this room. And the work just continues. In fact, I want to shout out our Cobb Collaborative, and Irene, I thank you for being in that video. And with the partnership of nonprofits, they have been working on addressing mental health issues across our county, reaching over 1,500 families through 73 events. Even Cobb Animal Services has been out in the community. Gone are the days when you had to go look at the animals that you wanted to adopt. They are coming to our communities and collaborating with many organizations, and they have brought down the total of 7,000 animals in their stay to just 156 by the end of 2021. Again, these are just a few of the collaborative efforts in our county, and I hope when we do this again, I will hear from you on more collaborations that we can consider in the next State of the County address. You know, working together as a team, that's a smart thing to do. And that brings me to the next point of intelligent decision-making. It's important that when we're making decisions, yes, that we address the issues before us, but we have to think about our future. And it's certainly helpful when you can think about data like the kind that Mikenathan shared with us. I had to rely on data when it came time to make decisions, and sometimes tough decisions around the pandemic. I did what I could, understanding that each of us individually did what we needed to do for our family and for ourselves. But my regard was for the public interest of everyone here in Cobb County. And that meant getting our vaccinations up to get our transmission rate down, our hospitalizations down, and our death rate down. When we observed that we had disparity in health among our elder population and among our minority population, I met with Wellstar and Cobb Douglas Public Health, as we had been meeting week after week. But this time we talked about disparities in those populations. And that resulted in us taking efforts out into communities, targeting certain ones to make sure that we were bringing vaccinations and testing to them. But intelligent decisions are not just a part of a pandemic or crises. They're part of how we should do things. And it's going to be how we recover from COVID, which why it was critical for us to engage a consultant in determining how we were going to spend that close to $150 million of federal funding through the American Rescue Plan. Our consultants helped us reach out to you, our public, so that we can make sure that we were not just addressing needs today, but that we were going to be set up for success in the future. Now, the American Rescue Plan dollars really are just for one-time expenses. It's our budget that helps us fund things day to day. And this past year, our commissioners passed a $1 billion budget, that's with a B, to serve residents here in Cobb County. But we couldn't do the sexy stuff that you think you can do with $1 billion. We had to get back to the meat and potatoes of our county. That meant investing in our capital maintenance program and putting annual investments back in place. That meant doing something very simple, which I'm ashamed to say, but providing merit to our employees, which was critical during a pandemic to retaining the best. But we have to consider how we retain their energy year after year, again, when we are not in a crisis. We also utilized our budget to make sure we are taking care of rising health care and pension costs, but we also added a new position to our board, at least funded it. We're trying to fill it for a new diversity, equity, and inclusion officer. We also supported elections to make sure that they had funding to make sure you weren't waiting in line when it came time to vote, and to make sure that we can be responsive to the new Senate Bill 202, which has added more requirements to local governments. On the matter of public safety, we supported our officers as well. And it was this board that funded the Step and Grade program to make sure that those who are merit employees of this county can have a reliable salary increase every year based on their years of service in the county and based on performance. And while people were concerned about us defunding the police, we were funding them. On the matter of public safety, with your support, we also supported more of our staff in uniform. We added 2 new fire stations, and we also added a nice new police headquarters. We also made the wise decision of hiring our new E911 director, who hasn't been with us for even a year before she was pulling down state awards. And her team has handled 900,000 calls this past year, answering them in less than 15 seconds, 84% of the time. Now that means something when you're calling 911. We were smart in using our fund balance last year to fund cybersecurity, strategic planning, a performance audit, and we're also funding a pay and class study to make sure that we are retaining and have the ability to recruit the best. As part of intelligent decision-making, our community development staff is also planning and guiding our future development through comprehensive plan efforts. And I hope many of you have participated in that to help guide us in where we want to take Cobb County in the future. We are also updating our development code to a unified development code, not a uniform development code, a unified development code to bring together and unify all of our development documents so that it will be easier for our citizens, our staff, and our developers to use. And it's new efforts like that that bring me to the next point of innovation. We have to keep current as a county if we are going to keep up with our citizens as a county. During the pandemic, our staff certainly was innovative in how they altered how they would serve. Our IS team put in a call center to help us, particularly with our seniors, be able to schedule vaccinations. If you can remember when everybody was trying to get online at 1 a.m., that was particularly difficult for our senior population. And so we put in place a call center, which is now being transformed to a call center for all of our citizens to use on a day-to-day basis so that we can be of better service. We are also facilitating virtual meetings, and that will continue with us into the future. When it comes to mental health, our public safety team has also been innovative in partnership with our Community Services Board, and they are now providing a more holistic response to how they respond to mental health related calls. Our Sheriff Craig Owens has also been innovative in his efforts. And this past year, his team has launched 24-hour mental health services. And I can say their efforts have garnered them the attention of being the most up-and-coming sheriff's department in the entire nation. And that's something to make note of. Cobb Police continue to serve and protect our county, and we've expanded the use of technology through our real-time crime center, which will provide a live video and data feed so that we can better and more swiftly respond to and solve crime. And it will also keep us from having to blanket areas or blanket general populations to solve crimes, which I know is good news for many of our communities of color. And I particularly want to thank our men and women in uniform. I thank you for all of the work you do every day and that you have done in a very challenging time period. It is your work, your efforts in putting on that badge every day and not just keeping our community safe, but extending your hand and creating relationships like I've seen with those of our Viper unit that are helping to instill trust in our community so that we can keep our community safer. Certainly, our constitutional officers, our judges are also helping to keep our county safe. And during the pandemic, they pivoted to provide court online so that we can keep our courts running. And I thank our judges for being here this evening. We've also seen some innovation in our DA's office, where the board supported his initiative to keep nonviolent criminal offenders from being within our custody. And he, in partnership with our solicitor's office under Barry Morgan and our superior and state courts, put in place a second chance expungement desks. And Lord knows we all need a second chance. Innovation just didn't start or stop there. We've seen Al Curtis with our fleet management division providing best practices to electrify all of our vehicles, and he even received an award to install backup solar power for our county's critical infrastructure. And I could tell you, this stuff doesn't come cheap, nor does it come free, which brings me to our next point. If we want to serve all of you and all the citizens out there, we have to invest in Cobb County. And part of the way that we check and see if investments are being made in Cobb is through our tax digest. In 2020, even during a pandemic, our tax digest grew, which is tax income that comes from our properties. It went up 5% in a pandemic year. Ladies and gentlemen, I share with you that we learned just today that our digest grew 10% just last year. And Mike, this is part of the reason that you shared It's because of our booming residential market. We issued more than 900 single-family home permits, and you see we still need to issue a lot more. And those total $264 million. Our board also approved redevelopment projects with the Sprayberry Crossing zoning that took place last year in Marietta, and even the Burlington Coat Factory Plaza in Austell will be redeveloped. Thank God for those of us that live in South Cobb. But it's not just the work that we do as commissioners. It's not just the work that our staff does in zoning. It's your work, and it's citizen groups like East Cobb Civic Association, like our Mableton Improvement Coalition, and our Canton Road Neighbor, our Vinings Home Owners Association, West Cobb Neighbor, and so many more that are advocating for residents every day to have quality development. And even though we are certainly getting quality housing, as was seen on the screen, we have a lot of work to do when it comes to affordable housing. With average home sales starting around $400,000 in Cobb, I'll be honest with you, many of our workers simply cannot find a place to live here. We do have a strong economy in Cobb County, but much of our economy depends on retail and tourism. And it's very difficult to see how someone that's paid at those wages can live here in Cobb. So being all in Cobb means that we have to do things differently so all can be in Cobb. And these are very difficult decisions to have. In fact, my assertion that we need to consider housing for everyone has been an impetus for a new city forming, because the concern is I am bringing affordable housing next door to you. I can tell you that if you want grocery stores next door to you, if you want schools next door to you, if you want a laundromat next door to you, affordable housing is going to have to go somewhere. And we can do what it takes. I know we can do what it takes for us to get there. And I'm hoping that people don't think that they need to leave Cobb or form something different in Cobb for Cobb to do what we can responsibly do to serve everyone here. Now, I want to thank our citizens that joined a group of developers and policy leaders to discuss affordable housing. I'm so pleased to have our Gwinnett County Chair, who's leading a regional housing transportation initiative, and our Henry County Chair, women, I should say, we are chairwoman of this region, who are helping with this housing initiative. In fact, it's so rare for us to say chairwomen. If these women can stand and be recognized, I would love for you to do that. Thank you. I lean on them in my times of sorrow. Economic development is also important when it comes to considering critical investment in Cobb County. Just last year, Cobb County issued 2,800 business licenses, which show that we are certainly coming back. Moreover, Select Cobb, under leadership of Dana Johnson, helped to retain 3,400 jobs, totaling more than $320 million. It certainly made news when we heard about Relay Payments, Von der Lande, Chicken Salad Chick, and Freshly all adding their headquarters to Cobb County. And last year, TK Elevator, that has our tallest building in Cobb County, opened up its doors to media and many of our leaders here in the county. WorkSource Cobb also helps to strengthen investment in Cobb County by strengthening our labor force. And they have had many programs, including its Pathways program, its Prime Power initiative, and Bridge to Success, which provides tax-deductible opportunities for businesses to create a pipeline of employees for skilled labor. Travel and tourism is also a significant part of our economic development. They employ more than 26,000 people in that sector, and they boast an economic impact here of $1.8 billion. And we all know that this industry was hit quite hard during the pandemic. And I thank them for their partnership with Expedia, which resulted in additional $5 million of overnight stays here in the county, and all their work to partner with different organizations to bring events back to Cobb County. And bringing events back is what brings people back. We all love something to be able to come together and have fun around, and nobody does that more than our public services agency. Last year, Senior Services continued to open its doors even when there were challenges, providing services to tens of thousands of residents, providing 20,000 one-way trips to our seniors, delivering almost 70,000 Meals on Wheels, and supplying 6,000 hours of home, personal, homemaker, and respite care. Cobb Libraries also had almost 800,000 unique visits within its doors. And we know that that's a hallmark of us being an educated county. And with your support of our SPLOS program, we were able to renovate our main library, Schweitzer, last year. And we even broke ground on a new library, which is Gritter's Library in North Cobb. Cobb's 4-H program has been investing in our youth through educational programming of young persons, and many of them have gone on to win state awards. Kimberly White with Keep Cobb Beautiful helped us become the second county after Gwinnett to receive platinum status as a green community, investing in our sustainability in the future. And I want to thank people like Barry Krebs and Jeff Paget and the entire Keep Cobb Beautiful team that are also working to make sure we have a great environment, not only in our future, but today in helping us with litter on our roadways. Cobb Parks, they have done a phenomenal job in getting us through the pandemic, providing memorable programs, including outdoor Halloween, fishing rodeos. My son finally caught his first fish, the escape room, our national BMX event, and they reopened Jim Miller Park right here on this grounds to more people than we ever have before. And investing in Cobb is not just investing in fun events, it also means investing in our infrastructure. And I want to bring up something that a lot of us don't have to think about, which is what's in this glass here, and I need a little bit of, which is our water. Last year, Cobb's infrastructure transported over 20 billion gallons of water over 3,100 miles of pipeline with supply partner Cobb County Marietta Water Authority. And I thank both of our leaders being here this evening. They also have been award-winning in being responsible in how they have treated our water system and our wastewater. Following flooding, mostly in East Cobb, commissioners voted to support our water system's work to assess a stormwater utility for our county. And I want to take time to recognize the tireless efforts of our Commissioner Richardson, who's been meeting with community residents who are still suffering from impacts of the flood. And I know some of you are here this evening. I also want to recognize the advocacy of our citizen, Hill Wright. This past year, the state of Georgia, had 2 significant water wins, which helped to strengthen our counties and our state's access to water for years to come. And I know our Atlanta Regional Commission had a lot to do with that. Another integral part of our county infrastructure is our transportation. And I thank Cobb DOT for being here and completing dozens of SPLOS projects, which we could not have done without your support. Last year, Cobb County had a historic partnership with Gwinnett County, Fulton County, the City of Atlanta, MARTA, and the ATL to be a part of the I-285 Top End project, which came together due to the leadership of mayors along the top end that said we need to do something about transportation and transit in the metro region. I'm very fortunate that those mayors allowed us commissioners to come along, and that with the support of our state DOT Commissioner Russell McMurray and also our ATL Director Chris Tomlinson, they have extended the top end project to now go all the way down to I-20 past Veterans Memorial. This will allow us to provide transit options that will not only include the residents that get through the region on I-75, but also get through the region on I-20, helping our residents in South and West Cobb. And I want to acknowledge our leaders here from Douglas County and our Commissioner Kelly Robinson, who we hope will also benefit from that project. Last year, commissioners also went on a path to approve our comprehensive transportation plan with the public, but to also ask for your support to invest in transit. And this is a subject that we have been talking about as being a possibility for Cobb for 70 years. The MARTA Act was put in place in 1968, and guess who was a part of it? Cobb County. And yet we are still talking about the same reasons here in 2021 about why we can't robustly invest in transit that we've heard over the decades. I didn't want to be the commissioner to allow, or commission chair, to allow that to happen on my watch. With passion and with frustration, I've seen us miss the mark when I served on our board as commissioner. And I couldn't see us do that when we have historic funding support coming from our federal leaders, and when we have so much need and opportunity, and businesses continue to pass Cobb by looking for areas that can access transit. But still, I'm saying what I saw, and I can't do it alone. It's about what we need to see. It's about what we see as opportunities, not only for our transit dependent, but for those that want to get out of their cars and spend less time on the roads, maybe spend a little bit less money at the pumps right now. For those who want to see businesses continue to come to Cobb County. For those that just want another way around Snowmageddon. For those of us who want to be able to get through our transit quickly and with a little bit less stress. And so I expressed that we should seize the moment. Put HB 930 on the ballot. Let our voters finally have their say for over 70 years. But I can't just keep saying I. We have got to want it. And I perceive that we perhaps were not there for this year. And so in communication and with a lot of encouragement from Mayor Norton and members of our business community, our transit leaders, and certainly our commissioners, we need a majority to pass anything policy related. We are moving, hopefully, that vote to 2024. I need your help to figure out how we're going to do in 2 years what we didn't do in the past 70 years. We're all in, right? So we've got to come to the table and see, what are we going to do for Cobb County? What are we going to do for our region? And what are we going to do for our future? And when I came on the stage, there were some people who you may not have known that joined me, and they also provided our Pledge of Allegiance. And that includes just a few of our members of our inaugural Youth Commission. And I ask for you, consider them. Some of the things that we're working on today, I might not be here for, but my children, your children might be. And so when we talk about investing in Cobb, let's not look at the return to our own wallets. Let's look to the return on our future. With that, our future has been very bright, as you have all been a part of something that has taken Cobb County on the world stage. And that was the win of the All-Star game with the Atlanta Braves. And that's something that we can all be excited about. And I'm very fortunate that they were with us today to usher commissioners on this stage. And if Mike Plant was here before, I tell them the words of a spiritual song that many of us may know, that if we did it before, we can do it again. And I want to say, we are a winning county, Cobb. We win here. And that was seen through many of the presentations and the words shared here tonight. And no matter the challenges that are before us, no matter how people may have counted us out, just like they counted out the Braves, look at what they've done and look at what we're doing together every day. We win in Cobb County. And I want to share with you that same spiritual hymn that if we won before, we will win again. And we will win more when all are in Cobb. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
And now, please join Chairwoman Cupid for the inaugural All-In Awards for 2022. And when the award recipients are named, could you please come up to the front of the stage?
Great. So one thing I was very excited to do is just honor a few people. I could honor everyone that's here tonight. I really could. And I'm so pleased to see so many of you. And I speak this sincerely because I work with so many of you. And all of you are helping to make Cobb County great every day. And this is something that I've started this year. And this is something that I want to do every year to make sure that you are as excited about Cobb County as I am. And that starts with our All-In Awards. So there's a few people I wanted to recognize. And I share the 5 All-In categories, starting with integrity. And the first award I wanted to present tonight is to Georgia State Representative Eric Allen. If you can come up here. You're welcome. We'll do it at the end. Thank you. So I'm recognizing Representative Allen because in his integrity, as being our state delegation chair, when it came time to redistrict, he met with each commissioner, each one. And I remember being a baby commissioner and I tried to talk about redistricting and they said, go ahead, little girl, just have a seat. This is what we do at the state. But you came, you didn't know I was funny, did you? You came and met with each one of us, and I thank you for that. Our next award goes to Kennesaw State University, if you're still here. I wanted to thank them for their integrity and being honest about where they were as a university and where they wanted to be. And I happen to serve on a committee that meets, every month to talk about KSU's successes, but also their challenges as they're becoming a more diverse and larger university. The next award is dear to my heart, which is to recognize Dr. Carol Holtz. Dr. Holtz, I want to commend you for your integrity. She chairs our Community Services Board and our Public Health Board for Cobb County. You had a tough job during the pandemic, lady. This is for you. You're welcome. She did not have a tough job with the pandemic. She had a tough job with me because I couldn't understand why we were making some of the changes that we were making. And she was honest that it would allow us to be able to better provide mental health services for our citizens. And we're still working on that. But I thank you, Dr. Holtz, because no matter how tough I may have been, you always took the time to speak with me and to understand. And I thank you. Yes, want to take those. So we'll take our integrity awards together. Yes. All right. Our next All in Cobb award goes to someone who's been at this for some time and who I met as Joanna Q. Citizen, just serving in the Six Flags area. And he brought in community leaders and faith leaders to talk about service. And this award tonight goes to Mr. Coakley Pendergrass. Yeah. You're welcome. Just wanted to let you know I have not forgotten the work that you've done for so many of us. I also want to recognize a group that probably needs no recognition because they've done so much. But if anyone is here and has been part of Cobb County's food fleet, please join us up front, as you have helped us to be able to be inclusive in providing meals to so many of our residents during the pandemic and are still continuing your efforts. All right, and that's it for inclusive. We had another award and they couldn't be here today. All right. I know you want to know who the other award was going to go to. And it was going to go to the Atlanta Braves. I could be a piece of work, I know. And when they wanted to have the All-Star Parade, and they said they were going to start in Atlanta, I asked them, what are you doing? You're here in Cobb. But they had to convince me, and I was well convinced the day of the parade, that we needed to partner with Atlanta. We needed to show that this was a unifying event for not only Cobb, and it brought so many of us together, but for the region. And so we'll save that for Mike Plant when we see him. All right. Next up is Making Intelligent Decisions. This award goes to Cobb County DA Flynn Brody. And this is for all the work that you've been doing to be innovative in your office, again, with addressing nonviolent offenders, with the Second Chance Desk, with his fantastic work and that of his team on the Ahmaud Arbery case. I just thank you for everything you do for us every day. I also wanted to bring up someone that's helping us to be able to fight crime intelligently, and that is Flock Safety. They are the ones behind the technology that we've been using for our license plate readers and for camera systems that are being put in place to help us be more targeted with crime so that we can go after individuals again versus entire communities in addressing crime here in Cobb. So thank you so much. And I understand, are we peer tech alum? All right, go Jackets, doing good stuff. All right. Also, another award for intelligent decision-making goes to a program near and dear to my heart, which is the Marietta Housing Authority's Family Self-Sufficiency Program, headed by Dr. Regina DeLay. And I honored them because she invited me to this program maybe 2 years ago, came late, running from something else, and I left, I think, crying. Women who are on Section 8 are given wraparound services to learn how they can get a home here in Cobb County. And talk about being all in. That program is all in with these women and with these families. And you've done a stellar job, and just wanted to make sure that I honored you tonight. So with that, these are my intelligent decision makers of 2022. Thank you. Welcome. All right. All right, the next category is for us to be innovative. Man, you guys thought I was sharing a surprise, Ross. You put all the winners on the board? Okay. What I'm doing is so anticlimactic. Sir Familiar, if you may join me up front here. Thank you for your innovative work in serving our Hispanic community for several years, and particularly during the pandemic to help address mental health issues. Man. All right. Next up is Chief Magistrate Judge Brendan Murphy. Go dogs. That's cuss words where I'm from. All right. Thank you so much for everything you've done with the rental assistance. And I don't know if we have anyone here with Mount Bethel Elementary or Team Recycle, but we wanted to recognize you for that fantastic app that you helped to develop last year. Okay, we'll put that to the side. Finally, when it comes to investing, there's no, oh, okay, sorry, thank you. Let me take this picture with my innovative people. Thank you, appreciate it. All right. Who's getting the next award? You guys can tell me. All right. Being all in and investing in Cobb goes to a dear friend to so many of us, is Mr. Bill Cheeks, who's been providing investment training to so many throughout the county and who's been investing with our young people with the Buy Cobb program. You're welcome. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Also, someone who is no stranger to us is Miss Kim Gresh with SAY Oil. She invests in everyone and everything. She is Cobb County. And I thank you so much for all that you do. Yep. Yep. And East Cobb Park couldn't be here tonight, but I wanted to recognize the citizens. That park over there started out at a citizen-driven park, and it's through their investment that garnered the attention of the county, and it's now going to become an expanded Cobb County Park. But I wanted to thank them for what they did tonight. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. So last but not least, someone who gets the All In Award for just being all in. Now, let me tell you, when I'm driving around Cobb County, taking my kids to sports, I see this person in the morning. After I take them to 3 rounds of basketball and soccer and come back home, he's still there. And this is not just one weekend, it's multiple weekends. And then when we have events in the county, he's there. When we have challenges in the county, he's there. When we have programs in the county, he's there. And you will never miss him. Why? Because he dons that yellow vest. Mr. Barry Krebs, if you can join us for being all in Cobb County. Thank you.
Deserving of this.
Yes, you are. Speech, speech, speech.
Thank you very much. I got my start because Commissioner Cupid had some faith in me when she was over District 4. So anyway, it's been a great journey, and thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And it's been a great journey tonight. Somebody help me on time. All right, we're going to get you out on time tonight. We did a new thing tonight, guys. This is an event that we typically have because of the avid support of our Cobb Chamber. And I wanted to try something where we introduced our citizens to something that our business leaders and our county leaders have access to every day. And that's fun things like the Braves coming through with their drum line. It's data reports like you heard from Mikenathan. It's being able to touch fans and touch people who've done great things in our county, like what Raymond has done for us on the national stage. We get to see that every day. Our citizens don't. And in my desire to be inclusive, I wanted to change this format to make sure all could be here. And I thank you. I didn't know what to expect tonight. And I just know when I can count on my community, I can expect greatness because you're going to show up and you're going to deliver it. So I thank you so much. I have some people I want to thank tonight. I want to thank Cobb Communications for your work in putting on this event. I want to thank whoever brought me the glass of water. I'm still having difficulty speaking. Aqua, thank you. Aqua's with Cobb Communications. I also want to thank our alumni of Cobb County's leadership program, and Aqua, I'm butchering the words, but we've had employees who volunteered tonight. It's our employees that greeted you at the door and took time out of their day after serving all day long to be here. I also want to thank many other members of our staff for what you do for Cobb County every day. And lastly, I want to thank all of you. If I could have given an award to everybody, I would. And if you wonder why your organization didn't get a shout out, it's because I need you to pre-register in advance and let me know what you're doing come next year. I will shout you out in the State of the County address. Look, it's all about all of us being all in. And I hope you get home and are all in your bed tonight. You guys have a great evening.